up, everybody? It's your girl, Drea Kay, back with another episode of Let's Tell a Story. I have here the artiste herself, Miss Courtney. How are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
Well,
It's raining.
It's raining. It's muggy.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Oh my God. Why?
God be God.
God be God, like all the time. But tell the people what you do.
So, a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an artist. Recently, I've been getting into woodwork. I'm a teacher and I'm a DJ.
You do a lot.
I do a lot. Yeah, a little bit of a lot.
You know, over here at the Let's Tell a Story show, we have a lot of creatives. I love the creatives.
Me too.
And you're multi-faceted, multi-talented. Which creativity outlet do you like the most?
Art.
Drawing.
Yeah, I really
Creating.
Painting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just creating in general, making something with my hands. You know, turning nothing into something. That's my favorite. It's therapeutic, and I just love it. Sometimes I shock myself with the things I come up with.
How did you get started?
Well, like in 2018, I told you I'm a teacher. So during Christmas breaks and summer breaks, I usually have a lot of time. So one Christmas break came up and I just had a lot of time. So I had some paint and I picked up a paintbrush and got to stroking. And it just happened to work out, I was pretty good at it. And from then, art, I don't know, it inspired me to launch a scholarship for art-based students because, as a teacher, we push academia a lot.
Y'all sure do.
And especially nowadays, they try to force college down the kids' throats. And, there are ways to do everything, but I realized that we don't pay enough attention to the right brain students. So that made me launch an art-based scholarship that, required no essays or anything. It was just an art submission. And the first year we went, 2019, funded it out of my pocket. I managed to help this young lady. Her name is Kyra. She's a fursuit maker, so she makes like costumes and stuff like that. I helped her get her things going, and that was it. But from then on, like I said, it's just been kind of therapeutic to me. I don't go to regular therapy, and nothing's wrong with that. A lot of people do, but I like this better.
So it's like a creative outlet, outlet of expression.
Absolutely, absolutely, and healing and a lot, yeah.
But I think it's more deeper for us than it is for other people that just say, oh, like that's a dope art piece, but like it's something that you actually created from a place and a space, deep inside you.
Yeah, with my hands. And I haven't been an artist all my life. Like I said, I just started 2018. So just the fact that, through these past 4 years, I've evolved into what I believe is a great artist, it motivates me to keep going. No telling what I'm coming with the next couple of years.
So as far as your teaching and everything goes, you teach high school students?
I do. So I started teaching in 2015. My best friend was working for a Princeton Review and they needed some more teachers. So she reached out to me and I got hired, worked there for a good 2 years straight. And I got this crazy call one day. They said, hey, Courtney, I've never told anybody this, by the way.
Tell us, let's tell a story. Tell us.
I've never told anybody this. So I got a call from my supervisor and she said, hey, Courtney, we are doing a new HR system. We misplaced your degree. So, at the time, I didn't have one. But when I interviewed, I wasn't asked for one. So I figured it wasn't necessary. So I didn't want to, tell her this over the phone because obviously if she's calling, she needed it. So I was just like, okay. I decided I'm going to go. After work, I'm gonna go straight over there to the office and tell her what's up. So I went, told my boss, I'm like, look, y'all didn't misplace it. I never gave you one because I don't have one. And like her mouth dropped to the ground. Like she was, she was shocked as hell. She was like, how do we get, how did we get here without you having a degree? And so it was a big thing. There were some people that left the company because this was their livelihoods. You know what I'm saying? They were scared because what my boss did was instead of firing me and just hiring somebody that was qualified, for every school that I taught at, she hired a person that was degreed to come and be with me. I still led the class, I still taught the lessons, but that made me look at myself in a different light, because I'm like, she could have easily just, fired me and hired one person that was qualified, but instead she was willing and did put out 3 times the money to keep me there. 3 times. You know what
She
I'm
needed
saying?
you.
I guess so. I guess so. So that, like I said, made me start looking at myself in a different light, and just made me realize, there's more to you than you believe.
Yeah.
So fast forward to now, I'm about to be finished with my first degree. I decided to go ahead and finish, because teaching students and asking them to do something that I don't have just kind of didn't feel right for me. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to go ahead and push through, and like I said, I'll be in this first one soon, and in a couple months be headed towards my second one as well.
Dang.
Yeah, so that, that's that. But I love teaching. I'm a natural teacher. I've been tutoring people my age since I was little, and
Yep.
and that just is something that has been innate for me, you know.
So how does like balancing everything just goes into like your lifestyle? Like, how do you balance being a creative, being a teacher, DJing as well? Like, how do you find time to do all of that?
So I'm an introvert, so I spend a lot of time with myself.
Me too.
And that's how, I don't really go out a whole lot, and I'll get into that later as far as how that works as a DJ. But I don't go out a whole lot. And I really, really budget my time wisely. Like, I'm serious about my time, because there are certain goals that I want to reach, and I know that I'm not gonna be able to do that if I spend time, going to the club or wasting money, doing anything. Not that going to the club is bad, but doing anything that is not gonna keep money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a creative. You know how it is, girl. It's hard. It's tough.
Super hard.
Yes, it's rough. You don't have any guaranteed money. And a part of the difficulty is just being able to keep going when you don't have that. Yeah, so that's just it. I spend a lot of time with myself, and I'm really serious about my time. I hate when people pop stuff on me. Hey, let's go do this, let's go do this. You got to get with me a couple weeks out, because as far as I'm concerned, I have my time and things planned for. I always have something to do. Always. I still got bills, so I'm busy.
Respectfully.
I'm sorry, I'm busy. You know what I mean? So, that's just how that goes.
For sure. So with your DJ and everything, where do you find the passion to do that as well?
Okay, so I started DJing around the same time, 2018, as I started doing other art. And that's because I am usually the safe space for a lot of people.
Draining.
Ooh, is it? It's so draining, girl. It's so draining. So, I didn't want to not be available to people, but I also didn't want to put out as much of my energy as I was doing. So I decided to start DJing, because music is one of those things that it's just, music is universal. Music
a language.
It's a language, it's healing. There are so many things that come from music. And healing was one of those things that I got. So I'm like, maybe if I can start putting these mixes together, using these songs that have helped me, that have spoken to me in the ways that they have, to kind of reach other people. Maybe I can do some of the same things that I've been doing without, like I said, wasting as much of my energy. So that's how that got started. I've made a couple of mixes that I put on SoundCloud. I got sidetracked because people would ask me, hey, can you DJ this party, and I'm a hustler, so I'm always trying to make some extra money.
Get that bread.
Yeah. But I quickly learned that all money's not good money. And I don't have any bad blood or anything with the people that I've worked with, but it's like the bad blood is with myself, because this is not truly what I sought out to do when I started to do it. You know what I mean? So,
do you feel like your passion kind of went away once you started doing it, like for the money to pay the bills, or was it like it's just like
yes and no. I love music. Music is never gonna change. I'm in a weird space right now with music, because just the older I get and the more aligned I become, the more sensitive I become. So I just can't let any and everything into.
I gotta protect this.
I can't let any and everything in, So even music that I just would love, I can't listen to it right now. I can't. I've been listening to a lot of jazz, actually. Instrumentals. Yes. Instrumentals.
It's actually a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah, with this recent Drake and 21 album that dropped, I see a lot of opinions and stuff. That's another thing too. I can't get into things based on other people's opinions.
Yeah.
That's just not me. It never has been. You know, but I've been noticing some of the things that people have been saying, some of the backlash they've been getting about the buttons that they've chosen to push. And somebody made a tweet on Twitter that said, you know, all the bad bitches gonna have to start listening to jazz. I'm like, oh, we already there.
We've been doing that.
We already there because, like I said, I can't let anything get in that's gonna distract me or influence me in a way that's gonna keep me from achieving my goals.
Yeah.
Gotta put it down for right now. So DJing in general, I've taken a break from. Yeah, and I hate telling people no, even though moving forward is gonna be a consistent no, because I don't want to DJ for people anymore, like for parties or for clubs, and that's not my thing. I'd rather just kind of chill, make some mixes, get in where I fit in, you know?
So when you say music is kind of like a weird space for you, and you're kind of in the process of like protecting yourself, like, I don't think people really understand how influential music really is. And I think that sometimes we get, you know, caught up in the hype of a thing that we forget that we're intaking a lot. So when did you start like analyzing what you were intaking, and when was like, what was that experience for you that made you decide, okay, you know what, I'm gonna just take a break from everything. I'm gonna probably, you know, get off Twitter for a while. I'm gonna probably just sit with self and kind of analyze some things going on in my own life.
So, I mean, that's an interesting question. I used to teach some of the young men that run with the NBA crew, NBA Young Boy, Never Broke Again, I should say that. So my first year teaching, I was 23. They would always ask me, you know, Miss Cav, come to the video shoot after work, or, you know, and I'm like, in my head, I used to be like, everybody want to be a rapper, like, y'all ain't serious, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until like they started garnering more attention and more fame that I saw that they were serious, and I'm like, wow, these little boys are in front of my eyes are changing. They were young little boys turning into young men, turning into businessmen. But I couldn't understand why. So I listened. They came by one day, came by the crib, and you know, just trying to get me to see what they had going on. So I'm listening to the music, and I wasn't feeling it. It was violent. You know, I was like,
what are y'all doing?
Yeah, exactly. But I grew up with brothers, and they're older than me. So I grew up on like No Limit, Cash Money, similar music. So I had to kind of put myself back there. But when I saw the influence that Young Boy had on the children, on the youth, that's what made me just realize music can be dangerous. And for a person like myself, I can compartmentalize, you know, and I can take myself out of certain situations or do what I have to do to protect myself. The youth these days aren't really like that. Like, they see things online that make them want like this instant gratification because that's what they see. They're not seeing struggle, they're not seeing work put in. And so I just I'm getting away from it, but I kind of had to, I didn't think that I was being influenced by the music that I was listening to until I realized how they were being influenced. You know what I mean? Yeah. Erykah Badu that's my baby. Like, I love Erykah Badu. I do. And I think her music has had a good influence on me. You know what I mean? She knows a lot about self. She's very self-aware. And those type of things have helped me to, you know, get my self-awareness in order. So, I mean, I hope I answered your question.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Look, Louisiana Daiquiri Factory. You can follow me at LA_Daiquiri Factory. And look, this how we rolling with it. I'm making daiquiris with premium alcohol. You see this here? That's what I'm making my daiquiris with. This is apple cognac. We make this with V-Long. Yo, this shit fire. We make a tropical passion with this new Ciroc. We got a green apple. That's his favorite.
It's my favorite, y'all.
Peach Douce, strawberry Hennessy, plenty different flavors. Just follow me at Louisiana Daiquiri Factory. Simple. You can call me, DM me, or text me, and I'm pulling up. Certified. You heard me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got drink.
Down.
Those are burnt. Welcome to Centurion Car Care, located at 11857 Florida Boulevard, where we do quality work at an affordable price. We also do paint and body, exhaust work, and any minor and major mechanic work. Best mechanic shop south of the Mississippi.
So you brought a couple of your pieces and everything like that. Can you explain like your inspiration for those pieces that you brought?
So I get inspired by everybody, really. I don't really have a favorite artist. I like to just create. So if I see something, I'm gonna want to, if I see something and I want to try it, I'm going to try it. And I'm gonna do the research on, the materials used and how it's made, the materials needed to bring it together. I have a lot of coochie inspired art. I like coochies. So so that is in women in general. Like I love women. So those are some of the pieces that I use to just kind of get that off my head, feeling a little freaky deaky.
A little freaky deaky.
Yeah, but so I've been recently doing woodwork, and I saw this artist on Instagram. His name is Art by Bankrupt. That's his Instagram handle. And I didn't really know what he was using because he doesn't show his process. Yeah. He just shows the art pieces. So I just, kind of used my creative common sense and put two and two together. I got, we was talking about sugar daddies earlier. I had this nice fellow that taught me how to use some equipment, some tools and things, and I went and purchased my own and just got rolling. So it doesn't take me long to learn how to do things. Once I learn, I'll try maybe once, and then I'm there.
That jacket is fire. I keep telling you about that.
Thank you.
Got my eye on it.
I made this jacket that I have on. This was from a one line drawing that I was trying to do, and I was attempting to draw Basquiat, but whenever I almost had my eyes closed. It's one line. I did this in one stroke. So by the time I was done with it, it looked like Basquiat a little bit in the hair, but it also looked like Jesus to me. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yes, Jesus Christ. Jesus Basquiat Christ. I'm like, how did this happen? But I really like it. Like, I don't question divine happenstance. So it was what it was. And the patch too, I made. I made this is my logo for my art brand. It's called Superstitious. Yeah. Because I was born on the 13th. People feel a way about the number 13. But I love 13, you know what I mean? So this is the actual logo, which was hand stitched by me too.
And yeah, you did a lot of hand stitching too.
Yeah. I like to do like I told you, art is so therapeutic for me. Yeah. So to just be able to sit there and start something and to finish it is very gratifying. And the success and things that I've seen thus far have not involved any money. Like it's been strictly, like I said, being able to start and stay committed and finish something.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier about how as a creative, sometimes when things don't really, go your way, or if you don't see any instant success with it, it's like you kind of dive into other things. Yeah. And when you dive into some of those things, you hit a brick wall. Yeah. And then you got to come back and start from ground zero. So with your art and everything like that, when was the moment where you felt like, okay, I can sell this? Like people need to know that this is something that I, actually do and I like it.
Well, when people started responding in that way, asking if they could buy it. So originally when I would do art, I was just doing it. Like I said, I started painting on vinyl records. I didn't bring any of those, but I would just paint out. I was staying on theme, so I would paint musicians on vinyl records. Whoever the record belonged to, I paint the artist on them. And I was kind of attached to them. Like I loved them. Because I'm like, I did this, you know what I mean? Yeah. And people would ask me about them, but I was just so finicky about it. Like I'm like, I guess, but couldn't come up with a price because I didn't really want to let it go. So just when people kept asking, it wasn't very long after I started. I'd probably say I started in 2018 and maybe sold my first piece a year later. So it wasn't very long. And I make art for other people, but I make art for myself too. And if they happen to like it, I'm more willing to let go of some things now than I used to be. But there are certain pieces that, I got at the house, I got to a minimum $10,000 piece, you know.
High price.
Yeah, like that's not gonna go easily. But I know that when it does, it's gonna go to the right hands, you know. So yeah, once people started responding in a way that, you know, showed me that they were willing to pay for my art. I actually posted before I came up here, I posted this jacket and have started taking pre-orders. And people been real serious. They've been telling me, you know, like, where can I get the money to? And I'm like, oh, I'm kind of nervous now.
You got nervous.
You want to buy my jacket? But that's another thing too. I don't necessarily want everybody in my stuff or with my stuff. You know, like I said, all money is not good money. So I like people to have a true appreciation for my art. And with that being said, when I started doing like clothes and other things, I wanted a way to promote this and sell it without having to promote and sell myself. Like I just wanted to do the art. Yes. Yeah. So I had created this alter ego. Her name is Kaya Knight. That's what's on my chain. Kaya Knight.
Kaya Knight.
Kaya Knight is it is a mineral stone, and it's one of the, I like to call it, or other people call it, the omniscient stone, because it doesn't require any charging and it self cleanses. And most stones are gonna absorb. We have amethyst and these different types of quartzes, but those things usually absorb negative energy. Kyanite is gonna be the one to repel it, so it's not even gonna infiltrate. You know, it's gonna go before it comes. And so that's why I chose Kyanite. She's blue. Blue also represents the throat chakra. So clear communication and just openness and truth. So that's what I wanted to do with my art. So I didn't get there too much, but my goal was to use Kyanite to promote the clothing and things that I did, just to kind of, like I said, separate myself. Sometimes people mess with you because they mess with you, and then sometimes, you know, they do it because they truly like your art, and that's what I prefer. I want people to truly connect with the art.
So how do you differentiate, like, the difference between your arts when you want to keep it for yourself and when you're like, okay, well, I can actually sell this and just make, you know, a little profit off of this? Like, how do you differentiate between the two?
So that's where I am now with art. Because I'm in more of a retail space, I guess, I'm willing to kind of let go of everything I have. That's why I'm doing it now. Like I don't get attached to the art that I keep. That I make currently. Later on, when I have achieved some more of my long-term goals, I will start making more art for myself to keep. But for now, I don't mind. I'm at that place where I make it, I sell it, you know.
So you mentioned earlier that you don't teach anymore, but you kind of moved into the space of counseling. How has that transition been?
So I do what's called exit counseling. Some people call it bridge counseling. And we work with high school seniors in helping them to find a post-secondary plan. So like I told you, I got turned off as a teacher just by always having to push college or a traditional college path. So with the services that we offer at my, current job, I'm able to kind of talk with students and figure out what they like, where they see themselves, and help them to create a plan to get over that bridge, So I like it. It's fulfilling. It's not, I don't have to deal with the extra shit, like attitude, behavior.
Like you babies.
Exactly.
Jesus.
No, I don't have to deal with parents. None of that. I'm strictly, it's just me and the student talking about their future and helping them devise a plan. I didn't have this service in high school either. I went to Baton Rouge High, and the standard there can be pretty high. So, I know for sure they didn't believe that we needed those services. And the fact of the matter is, high standard or high performers or not, we're still students and still making a big transition and still need help with that transition. You know what I mean? So they didn't really do a good job of that. So being in my current role helps me to kind of come back full circle and, be able to really talk to students that look like myself and you and put them, on a path towards success versus just kind of pushing them off to do something. You know what I'm saying? Kind of tailoring it to what they really want to do.
So when you think about counseling, it's not only, to help in a career path, right? It's also kind of personal in a sense. So how do you help them determine the path, like on a personal level?
I keep it real with them. All right, like I've told many of them, it's taken me more than 10 years to get what should have been a 4-year degree. So I just keep it real. Like I tell them the things that they aren't going to hear when they go to college preview days or even college orientation once they're there. So I use my own personal journey of higher education and learning to kind of guide them, and we really just talk about real stuff. So I'm always going to show up as myself.
Yeah.
And that's it always helps to make connections, real genuine connections. You know what I mean? So students trust me a little bit more than they may trust people that they have been led by before.
Yeah. So opening up kind of creates a safer space.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you do that with your art. You do that with your DJing, making your mixes and everything like that. Where can we just learn more about you?
Okay.
Where can we stalk you on Instagram? Everything like that.
Yeah. My Instagram is going to be DJ The Widow, and it's spelled Wideaux. We from Louisiana, so I had to throw that in there. And I have an art page too. It's going to be in my bio though. I don't want to spell that because I'm probably going to spell it wrong. It's a bunch of letters with no vowels.
Goodness.
So probably going to spell it wrong. So I'd rather just, you guys find me from my regular Instagram, and then my art Instagram is in the bio.
Well, what do you have like coming up? What are you working on currently that we can possibly look out for?
Oh girl, a lot.
A lot. I'm creating all the time.
Yeah, I am literally like I don't stop. So I'm gonna be doing some car shows coming up, and just making some model cars out of wood.
Really?
Yeah, just all the other art things I have going on. Like I said, I have a list literally of art that I can do. So when I'm done with one, I just go to the next. I don't really have artist block. I know sometimes the artists will get that. I haven't gotten there yet, and I'm thankful for that because I don't want to be in that funk. Now I do get in funk sometimes where I just don't want to do much, but those usually blow over in a couple of days. So
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I am intrigued. I'm intrigued.
I hope everybody else is too.
And we got to go over there and look at some pieces. And we're going to show y'all her pieces and everything. But this has been another episode of Let's Tell a Story. Make sure you all check out everything that she has going on and check out her art pieces. They are dope. Catch y'all in the next episode. What is up, y'all? It is your girl, Drea Kay, and we are here with the lovely Miss Courtney. As you can see, we got some of her art pieces. We're going to be talking a lot about her art pieces on the next episode of Let's Tell a Story. Courtney, what you got for us right here? Because this jacket,
all right.
Can I have it? I love it.
Of course. So, starting with this jacket, this is a work in progress, actually, but this is Miss Lauren Hill that I've been stitching with embroidery floss. And the patches you see underneath are complete patches that I've made with embroidery floss. So, these are handmade. Everything I do is handmade. Over here, we have earrings. So, when I was growing up, I used to always want some New Orleans hoops.
Yeah.
But mom's wasn't playing that. She not everything for everybody. So she never let me get them, but I've always loved them. And they've always been just a part of our culture. Big earrings, big hoops.
Bigger the hoop.
So bigger the hoe. So I made some giant ones to go on the wall, and then most recently this week I made these about a month ago. But this week I'm more of a nugget gal myself, so you can see the little nuggets.
Gotta have a couple of them.
So I made some nuggets. These are not wall pieces, probably centerpieces or something to go on the table. And in my hand right here.
What is this?
This, I call it a Tamagotchi. So, there was Tamagotchis is a 90s toy that we used to play with. I don't know if you remember Tamagotchi. Used to be on the keychains on our backpacks when we were little. So I made one of those as well, but I came up with a different design that looks like a Gucci. I told you guys I gotta think for them.
You know, I gotta think more.
So I like to make them out of any and everything.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So yeah, this is just a coochie version of the Tamagotchi. And you know how to press that button right, then you know, probably know how to win the game.
You know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Because you know people
don't know.
they
People
do
can't
it.
find a button.
You know they can't find a
That's why I
button.
make it red. All right. You know
It's easier.
The other button's at the top. The button we need is at the top.
It's
but also,
easier.
it's just a little guy. You know, follow the red button.
Follow the
You know
red
what I
button.
mean? But yeah, it's just a few examples of what I do. I didn't bring any of my coochie necklaces, and I wish I would have. I make these little pussy pendants, and I like to call those thing on a chain.
Thing on the chain.
Thing on a chain. Yeah, because it's a little thing on the chain.
On the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't even have any on today. I actually have sold all of those. Those are
Of course.
people nasty. So they, you know, from the coochie, they all in. That's another thing. Sex
Here for
sells. So
it.
I try to incorporate things that I know I truly like and other people truly like.
Yeah.
too.
So look, we have those pieces, and we're going to be talking about some more pieces on Let's Tell a Story. So make sure you all tune in, follow The Antidote, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check us out on Roku TV as well, and yeah, coming soon.
It's up.